And this is Linda Bennett, your spiritual counselor and psychic host for Metaphysically Speaking. Tonight we're going to talk about Virgo. What does that mean to you, Virgos, and everybody else that has to deal with them? But right now, personal questions. 546-8268. Call in, stay with us. And welcome back, everyone. This is Linda Bennett. Metaphysically Speaking is designed to help you incorporate the soul, the mind, the body together and function very effectively and peacefully and joyously on the planet. I realize it's a mid-range planet. I'm on the same planet you are, but we have to do the very best we can. And bringing the soul, the mind, the body together is the only way that we're going to affect any kind of positive change within ourselves and on the planet. 546-8268. I'm still getting used to the new telephone number. This is where we do personal questions. We've got some people online right now. Make sure that you dial in. If you get a busy signal, call right back in a few seconds. And with the new system, we should be able to get you in. Personal questions now and again at the end of the show. During the body of the program, we're doing questions on Virgo and a few questions on astrology in general, and also maybe some open meta questions, open metaphysical questions and answers. We also have classes, so make sure you have your pencils and paper, and we do have a class Tuesday night, tomorrow night. Let's get to some personal calls. 546-8268. Call our first name and comment or question.
Hello, Linda.
Hi there.
My name is Ina.
Ina, great name. I watch old movies, and there was a band leader named Ina Ray Hutton.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there was an actress called Ina Claire.
Yes. I like a lot of old movies. Yeah, great. Okay, what's your question, Ina?
My question is, do you see me selling my house and moving?
Has it been up for a while? Because I see like a delay.
Yes. It has been up for a while. I took it off the market, and I'm trying to sell it myself.
Okay. Well, Mercury is going retrograde in a couple of weeks, and that means things getting all out of whack, miscommunication. A planet doesn't go backwards, but it's the energy that seems to miss planet Earth, and this is where a lot of confusion takes place, and people show up for appointments with me that don't have them and don't show up that do, and all kinds of crazy things. So you may have a little delay in most of the month of September, which we're coming into, as you know. So I wouldn't be too upset, but I would still pursue it because you've started trying to sell it before Mercury went retrograde. But what you want to make sure is that you double check on people's phone numbers if anyone comes to look at it. I'm not so sure that you're going to sell it yourself. Here's what I see on the scales of justice. I see it slightly weighted in favor of real estate. In fact, I'm forgetting, wait, we have new real estate people that are advertising on the program tonight, and I've known Marianne for years, and you may want to give them a call. Pardon me, it might be that you could work out some kind of a broking situation. I don't know how that happens, but I see it more favorable for selling it through a broker than I do it personal. I'm feeling there are like two possibilities of selling it on your own. And I'm feeling you need to tell everybody in your neighborhood about the house and be open to all kinds of suggestions. Don't take mortgaging back. You're not a banker.
No.
But I am feeling that this can sell. It does need a little bit of a push. Stand in your house and look at it from a perspective of a new person coming in and see what you may want to change. I'm feeling some things need to be changed on the inside of your house.
We've done a lot of outside work, put a picket fence in, things like that to make it more attractive.
Right. But also remember that you're looking at it from somebody else's perspective. If you like colonial and somebody likes modern, they're going to think whatever you've done is awful, and just because they have no taste. But you have to understand that we have to look at it with an objective eye. So maybe have a friend come in and say, what is annoying you, or what do you think should be changed? And I'm focusing on the inside of the house. Yeah. It might be the couch needs to be moved or something else needs to happen. And I'm feeling with some changes that'll improve the energy a bit, and you can sell the house.
Good.
Where are you going?
That's what I would like to know.
Where are you going?
I have no idea. I would stay in Florida, but St. Pete is getting a little too hectic. Mm-hmm. I'm not one of these young people. I'm in my 60s, and I've had enough of living in the old Northeast and the weekends where everybody comes down to Stroud Park. I've had it.
Right.
And I'm looking for peace and quiet.
Well, watch the commercials, of course, always, and support the sponsors, but watch the new sponsor with the real estate brokers and give them a call and tell them what you're looking for so they can begin to look for you. Okay?
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Also forgot to tell her, make sure wherever she moves, she's staying in the same area so she doesn't miss my show. Call her first name and comment or question. Caller.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
What's your name?
This is Debbie.
Okay, Debbie.
I've been reading a lot lately about the axis of the Earth shifting in the next few years, and I'm really concerned about it, and I was wondering what you have, any words of advice to tell me or any other people in the state of Florida in the next few years as to whether or not to stay here or get out or what?
Well, if you want to survive the shift, then you should leave the state of Florida, because I don't have to be psychic to tell you that Florida is mostly limestone, it sits low, and it's going to get covered over with water. I personally have no interest in surviving the shift. Too bad you didn't come to the class. I think it was in July. What is this, August? Maybe it was in June that I gave the July, that I gave a class on the shift itself and what to expect and what happens in certain parts of the world that are going to stay up and others going down, and new continents rising, etc. If you're interested in surviving the shift, understand that the world is going to be very different. There's going to be very little mass communication. You will not be able to go to the supermarket and get what you're interested in because there will be no roads, and you're going to have to learn how to survive. It's going to be a very unpleasant environment. New Agers love to say, well, it's going to be a new dawn, and everybody's going to be kind, and all the bad people will be wiped off the planet. That's not how it's going to happen. Bad people will survive as well as good people. And good people had better start learning now to stand up for what's right and to do what's right, not politically correct, not religiously correct, not societally correct, but spiritually correct. And also, if you want to learn how to survive, you may want to develop a skill like bread making or weaving or spinning or tool making or finding water and all kinds of things. There are some good books out there that you can get. I have some of them on my recommended reading list, and if you come in for a consultation, you come in for a class, make sure you pick it up. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And now that I've cheered everyone up, hey, I don't make the news, I just report it, guys. Caller, first name and comment or question. Caller.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, Linda. This is Hillary.
Hello, Hillary.
I was just wondering if you see anything happening in my love life.
No.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry, not yet. I'm feeling 97 is going to be a much better year for you, and I'm feeling it's going to clear out. I don't know. I don't know what your chart is. I don't want to know at the moment, but it just might be that you've been going through. I'm feeling you've been going through some kind of a stretch of cleansing, reevaluation, getting yourself set up better.
Very much so.
Very much so?
Very much so.
Okay. And what I'm feeling is a lot of that homework will be done by the end of the calendar year. And a person you would choose now would not necessarily be the person you would choose, say, next March or April. Okay. All right? So your level of spirituality is moving forward, and that, of course, reflects in your choice of a mate.
Yeah.
And, you know, here's my standard, boys and girls. If you wouldn't want this person, ladies, if you wouldn't want this guy for your mother, your daughter, your best friend, he's not good enough for you. And fellas, I hear some stories about women. You know, not all boys are bad, not all girls are good. I hear some stories with from some fellas who are really nice who go out with some real lunatics. Fellas, if this girl is not good enough for your son or your brother or your father, he is not good enough for you either. So pick someone that you're going to have a long-term relationship with. Okay, not just because he's cute or he's got a good car or, you know, because she's gorgeous. Pick the person, because if you're on a desert island, that's who you could live with. So I'm feeling the person you would pick now, you would not want to date by spring of next year. And I'm feeling 97 is going to be a very important year for you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Let's take this caller, and then we'll go to classes. Caller, first name and comment or question. Caller.
Dinah.
Dinah. Wow, what great names we're getting tonight. Dinah, hi. What can I do for you?
I've got a question. Anything as far as relationships go?
Anything as far as what goes?
Relationships.
Another relationship. And that's funny because this is Virgo energy, and people are not usually thinking of relationships in Virgo time. Yes, I'm feeling two people coming towards me, and one either you know of or it's someone you used to know. And I'm feeling that may not, I keep hearing don't settle. So what I want you to do is choose wisely. You know, like in the animal kingdom, or the bird kingdom, there was a show on birds the other day, and they were featuring peacocks, and the very next day I saw 3 peacocks in my neighborhood. The men have to prove themselves to the women. I think this is a good thing, okay? Right. I really feel that you need to be more selective and don't settle. You're a nice lady. You have something to give. You value home life. You value relationships, and I don't want to see you settle. So I see 2 energies coming towards me, and I feel that you're going to, of those 2, you should select the one who is the wisest long-term mate. Okay?
Okay.
You don't have to tell him to spread his tail feathers, okay? But I am feeling that a selection of 2 and pick the right one. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, now let's take more calls. Caller, first name and comment or question. Caller.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Charlene.
Hi, Charlene.
Hi. My stepfather and I haven't spoken since Christmas in regards to my fiance and I having a daughter. And we were still not speaking. Do you foresee any chance that we're going to be on terms again?
Eventually. But you realize that even before this happened, you and your stepfather thought differently about a lot of things. So this is never going to be, you know, June and Ward Cleaver here. And remember June and Ward Cleaver and Leave It to Beaver? So you are going to be finding that you're going to have to set your own standards, your own family vibration, and just send beams of light to him. Be very pleasant, and eventually he will come around. He'll come around to a point.
All right, thank
you. You may want to send him a little card or a little note with your feelings in there and say, life is very short. Look at all those people who died in the plane crash.
Right.
Life is very short. Let's mend the fences. Okay?
Thank you.
Stay with us. We're going to talk about Virgo. Hello, I'm Linda Bennett. Do you have questions about your personal life, your family relationships? How about a love relationship? Are you in the right career? Perhaps you want to know why you're here on the planet to begin with. Well, call me for a private appointment at 736-4567. Also, if you would like to join us as an advertiser for Metaphysically Speaking, why not call 736-4567? And the meta moment tonight, the unclouded eye is better no matter what it sees. And that is from Dune, which is a wonderful science fiction series. They're focusing, unfortunately, on drugs being the answer of the future and how people see psychically. And it was written at a time where some people thought that certain psychotropic drugs like LSD was in favor with scientists at one time, and they thought that was maybe the way to go. What they totally forget is the way to go is spiritually. Never take a drug or alcohol or anything that's going to alter your mind. By the way, we're talking off camera about what I'm talking about, the allergic reaction I had, and that was from the newspapers yesterday. I am highly allergic to the print. I've talked about this before, and yesterday was the worst allergic reaction I've ever had. Normally, I open the newspapers out in my garage, throw away all the garbage, look at the ads that I don't ever look at. I wish we could get a newspaper without all that junk in there, wasting the trees that we're chopping down by the millions every year. Anyway, instead of doing that, I just hauled everything in the house and started taking it apart on the counter, and boy, did I have a sneezing attack, runny nose, runny eyes. I was miserable until 4:30 this morning. Fortunately, I had some homeopathics that I could take, and one of the foods in the program, the food program that I talk about, works particularly on the respiratory system, and there's a tea that's a very cleansing tea. But I spent a miserable day. I called the St. Pete Times today, talked to the editor's office, waiting for the printing department to call back, the printing manager to call me back. If you've had a problem with that, for instance, Mary Louise, a friend of mine, said that whenever she touches the paper, her hands get itchy and dry. My friend Patty said her head gets all stuffy and she gets a violent headache. That's how it started with me, with a violent headache. If any of you have had reactions to the paper, Architectural Digest and National Geographic does the same thing. So I'm going to find out about the inks. If any of you have that problem, I'd like you to call my office and leave your name and number and say, I have a problem with the paper too, because they told me today that nobody else complains about it. Anyway, so that's why I'm hazily and stuffy, and the building is going through renovation here, and whatever the chemical smell is in this building just knocks me for a loop. So here we are. My voice is going. I'll probably do hand signals by the end of the hour. But I want to talk about Virgo tonight because we're in the sun sign of Virgo. There are 12 signs. That also makes 6 pairs. And for everything, there is an opposite. So Virgo and Pisces are the pairing that we're going to be dealing with tonight. Now, Virgo is an earth sign, but instead of being heavy and immovable like, and I'm saying this in quotes, like Tauruses and Capricorns, because they pick a position and they sort of stick there. Virgo says, well, show me. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Okay, I'll take a look at it. And that's because it's ruled by the planet Mercury, which is ideas and communication and quick, just like Gemini, and I'm a Gemini sun sign. Now, that seems to be incongruous that an earth and an air would get along together, but Mercury is a very powerful planet that sends ideas intuitively and also through the physical human mind. And this is why Virgos get a lot of ideas faster than the other earth signs do, and even faster than some of the fire signs. And Virgo is fascinating because it says, well, I'm very logical. It deals with precision, accuracy. It wants to make everything neat and tidy. If you have a Virgo friend, your Virgo friend probably has a very neat house, everything organized, everything taken care of in its own little place. They're very timely people, generally speaking, and they like order in their lives. They don't like a lot of spontaneity, generally speaking. They like things to be planned, and they like to know where they're going. They're not adverse to having spontaneous things happen, but earth sign people generally like to know what is going on. What's fascinating is many doctors are Virgos, and that's because they can deal with the precision. They can deal with the precision of medicine. They can deal with the precision of the examination. But the downside of Virgo can be that it is very, very emotionally dead. That is the worst aspect of Virgo. As it moves in a higher level spiritually, it's not dead, it becomes detached. And it learns that its opposite side of Pisces, which is, oh, I'm so upset, I can't possibly do that. I'm so emotionally upset. Very, very heavy into the drama. Virgo says, knock it off. I've got work to do. I am going to make sure that these circumstances are attended to, and attended to brilliantly. So it has to learn to tune into the opposite side of Pisces and deal with emotions. Its own emotions first, and then the emotions and feelings of other people. Virgos can be very cutting, very cruel, cut you dead onto the floor and never even think anything about it. They say to you, well, get up, snap out of it. You know that I'm critical. You know that I'm probably right. Actually, I was being very generous. Virgo saying, well, you know that I'm right. I'm just saying probably, because as you're learning to deal with other people's feelings, you sort of get a little humility and say, probably right. But they are very exacting people. They make very good business people. They make good doctors if they understand that you're dealing with a patient's feelings and fears and insecurities, and not to be cold and cutting. They will be the kinds of doctors, unfortunately, that don't want to hear what you have to say. They just want you in and out. That's not a very good doctor. But it's a very good doctor if the doctor doesn't sit there and cry with you if he or she is giving you a bad diagnosis. They don't get dragged into the emotions of the circumstances, but they help you overcome your fears as they're treating you for whatever illness there is. Again, I said they make good business people. They tend, unless they're spiritual, not to make good parents because they're too exacting, and little children can't be exacting. So Virgos need to get a little patience, a little compassion. Life isn't always precision. They need to have this as a complex but flexible energy grid around them. Virgos, interestingly, tend to like abstract forms, geometric forms. Many of us who have other signs like free form and flowing and flowers. Virgos like squares and circles and everything that they can make order out of, including many Virgos are also very involved in the mathematics because they like exacting things. So Virgo needs to learn to look at flow, must learn to be more flexible, must learn to look at things that are a little out of the boundaries. I'll never forget a Virgo years ago. He had 5 signs in Virgo. And this man was so exacting, it was very annoying. And I got a coloring book and I said, work on this page. And he did. And he was so careful not to get anything outside the lines. And I said, okay, now I want you to draw outside the lines. He says, I can't do that. I said, why not? He said, because you have to stay inside the lines. I said, who said? This is my coloring book. These are my crayons. I'm telling you to draw outside the lines. He had the worst time drawing outside those lines. I was trying to show him that you don't always have to stay inside the line and be so exacting. You can be freeform. You can flow. You don't have to be so uptight. Virgos. Okay, let's take some calls. First name and comment or question.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi. I was wondering about how Virgos are with romance and love.
Well, and again, what I must stress every single time I talk about astrology is that the person can be on different levels of the chart. The worst level is below the practical level. They're not even trying. Then it works up to the practical level where you can read a lot of astrology books and put a few things together. Then the highest level is the spiritual or esoteric level. I've also seen people with dream charts. You say, I will create a fabulous chart. Be real jerks. I've also seen people with horrible charts, very difficult aspects, be wonderful individuals. So, generally speaking, having made that disclaimer, did you notice my disclaimer? Having said that, Virgos tend not to be terrific in romance unless they have, Cancer or Pisces or Scorpio or even little Gemini and Sagittarius in their charts. Because they tend to be very exacting. They can also, again, be very cutting. They cannot notice an emotion. They will notice if you have a new dress or your hair is done differently, and they'll tell you about it, even on the way to the dance or on the way to the dinner party, saying, I don't like that outfit. Oh, no. So therefore, they have to learn to be a little more emotional and tender. But that doesn't mean they can't learn. I believe you can teach an old dog new tricks. So what you need to do is tell a Virgo what you want and need and what you think. And instead of being as direct and cutting as the Virgo is, be direct but be softer. And teach the Virgo how you would like to be approached.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Good luck.
Bye-bye.
And don't get your feelings hurt all the time with a Virgo, because in their need to be so precise, again, they tend not to pay attention to other people's feelings. Caller, first name and comment or question.
Hi, this is Jan.
Hi, Jan.
I'm a Libra. And someone that formerly was close to me was a Virgo, and you're describing that person.
Yeah.
Very much so. And my current person I'm involved with is an Aquarian, but the three of us don't tend to get along very well. And I'm just curious, because the Virgo is such a difficult person, I guess, from the standpoint of being such a perfectionist.
Right.
How Libra, I'm an easygoing person, how most of us can get along with these people.
Well, it's very difficult, and Libras tend to be very soft and not like confrontation. But the lesson of Libra, because Saturn is now in Aries, and so Libra is affected because it's the pairing, the lesson of Libra is to stand your ground, take a position that's right, and go for it, and make sure that your feelings are known. Libra says, oh, no, 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 please, I don't want any confrontation, let's not have any unpleasantness. Sometimes there has to be confrontation. If something is important and it's worthwhile, you must discuss it. That doesn't mean you have to scream. I don't allow screaming. It means that you have to be exact and precise and communicate. And you must tell the Virgo. Virgos have to be trained, and you have to show them what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what's kind, what's not kind. Tell them, I appreciate your exacting, but don't worry about where the fork, let's take an extra minute. Let's not worry about where the fork is at the table. If it's on the right side, who cares?
Yeah, right.
You know, they get so hung up on stupid details. So let's look at it in a positive way. The Virgo can teach the Libra a little more exactitude, can teach the Libra perhaps be a little more timely, perhaps a little more aggressive, but having a game plan, you see, having a floor plan, a foundation for what activities are going to take place. Libra, on the other hand, as the second air sign, can teach Virgo, be more flexible. Don't be so uptight. Let's have a nice time. Stop being picky, 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 picky. And make sure that you see the flowers as opposed to just the stems. All right?
That sounds like something I'm always saying.
And you know, if you can't get along with someone and it's a constant struggle, push the relationship off to the side, just be friends, and move on and find someone, because a relationship shouldn't always be a struggle. It's not going to be perfect, but it shouldn't always be a struggle.
Well, that's true.
Okay?
Does Libra and Aquarian work well together?
Well, some people think they do. You know, we'll take an extra minute out of this segment. My poor director's going, what is she doing to me? They're both air signs, and Aquarians can also be very picky. They can also be very exacting, but they're not exacting because they want to create a foundation. They want a reaction from you. Or they want to say, well, what is she going to say about that? And then what am I going to say about this? You see? It's a bit of a head game with an Aquarian, and again, the Libra's feelings can get hurt. And so you teach the Aquarian, don't ask me a question or don't make a statement just for a response. Make a statement because it's a valid statement. Don't play games with me, all right? See? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does, actually. That's kind of funny.
So I always say to my Aquarian students, shut up, intuit, and do it. Don't ask me any questions. Never tell me what you think. What does your soul tell you? We have to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. The best and most beautiful cannot be seen nor touched, but are felt in the heart. And that was a lovely saying by Helen Keller. Now let's pick up on Virgos and any open metaphysical questions and answers segment you would like. And we're having a whole discussion here because apparently there is a Leo and Virgo combination here. And I happen to know both parties, and both parties are lovely people. She is the Leo, which works very well, and because Leo women, as we talked about last month, are very aggressive and want home, family, and want to protect everything and everybody they love. And this particular Virgo is a very laid-back guy, but he is very good in precision and formatting and structure and getting things accomplished, where Virgo loves to get things accomplished. But he has a nicer disposition. So this supports what I was saying earlier, that it's not just the sun sign. It is every single aspect. It is your rising. It is your moon. It's your nodes. It's everything, and it's where you are spiritually. You can have 20 signs in Virgo. That's an exaggeration. And Geminis never exaggerate. 20 signs in Virgo. And be kind and sweet and gentle, and that's because you've learned the lesson of balance. Virgo must learn emotion and gentleness and spirituality. Now, Virgos also can be very materialistic. Virgos can say, well, I'm earning it, so I'm going to get all the goodies I want. I'm entitled to this car. I'm entitled to this house. I'm entitled to this boat. I'm entitled to this airplane. I'm entitled to this fashion wardrobe. I'm entitled. I work, and they can figure out a way, because I work and I deserve it, to make the numbers work. Then 2 months later, they say, why did I buy that plane? Why did I buy that boat? Why did I buy whatever? They can talk themselves into spending a lot of money. Virgo has to learn that just because you can make the numbers move here and there doesn't mean you should have the acquisition. Virgos must learn not to be too materialistic, to value what you have, to make the most out of it, and don't throw it away every couple of years. And don't worry that it goes out of fashion now. Wait a few years, it'll come back. Those ugly shoes, no one's buying them. Those ugly clunky shoes they wore in the 70s, are you buying those ugly things? Wait. Use the wardrobe that you have, wear what you like. You don't have to run out and spend. So Virgo has to learn to be a little more thrifty. On the other side, Virgos can be very cheap. They can say, I have got to save all this money. I may need to make a big purchase. I'm going to be very exacting about what I do with my savings. So if you have a cheap Virgo, say to them, we're having the shift in a few years. What's the difference? You can say to them, look, there's a difference between being wise with your money and being cheap. I cannot stand cheap. If I've got a half a loaf of bread, you've got half a loaf of bread. I will share it with you. Now, that may not suit the Virgos very well because they tend to say, I have to have this. I will give you some, but I'm going to keep this because you never know what's going to be happening. Virgos have to learn a little more gentleness. This is not a hopeless case. Every sign has its assets and liabilities. That's why we're here on the planet. That's why we have reincarnation, because you learn the lessons in a variety of different ways so that you can perfect the soul. Another thing about Virgos, it learns that the body must serve the mind, not to focus. Virgos like to be very attractive. They like to have beautiful wardrobes, terrific hair, etc. They have to learn that you can't be all face and form, that you have to be mind as well. And then they have to learn the spirituality. And then they have a wonderful blending. Let's take some calls. Caller, first name and comment or question. Caller.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
I'm calling to find out if you're born on the cusp, which tendency do you seem to go to the pure Virgo or
is this Leo sign? Or is it Libra?
The 22nd
of
September.
Okay, so you're cusp of Libra. Here's the best way to explain this. You're standing in a doorway. The back of you is to Virgo, so you've absorbed everything that's Virgo, and the front of you is Libra. So the Libra sun is shining on you, so to speak. So you would have all of the aspects of Virgo and some of the aspects of Libra. All right? Now that could be in any one of the positions in your chart, but in your case, is the sun sign?
I don't know.
So you were born on the 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And don't forget, it changes from year to year. It can be the 17th to the 24th, sometimes the 25th, that it varies. So if your year is cusp Virgo Libra, you have most of the aspects of Virgo and some of the aspects of Libra.
I seem to tend to go more towards the other and not the Virgo.
Okay. Well, here's what happens. You may have learned all the lessons earlier in life. All right, and that's why you were born. In your last lifetime, your rising sign was on the cusp of Virgo and Libra, because your sun sign now, okay, is what your rising sign was before. Your rising or ascendant now is what your sun sign will be next lifetime. So, depending upon the lessons that you completed last time and how you've lived your life up to a certain point, helps you understand that you are more of one or more of the other. If you've learned the lessons, the energy is brighter from the Libra aspect. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Caller, first name and comment or question.
Charlotte.
I'm sorry?
Charlotte.
Okay, Charlotte, what's your question?
Hi. I'm trying to find out how the Virgo reacts with a good Taurus, namely my daughter.
Well, again, the spirituality of the individuals, but they tend not to get along overwhelmingly well. Is this what you're finding?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Taurus digs its little heels in because it doesn't like to be criticized. Taurus is a little tender-hearted, more tender-hearted than Virgo is. And Virgo accuses Taurus of not being earth enough and stop being so sensitive and stop being so stubborn. Because, again, Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury, and it's more flexible. It can just move along there, where Taurus says, no, I'm not going anywhere. And if it's male-female, so sometimes the female wants to hold her ground because she feels like she's being overwhelmed by the Virgo, and the Virgo says, I'm ruling this roost, you're not going to be stubborn with me. And what they need to learn is to be a little kinder and a little calmer and not butt heads all the time, but to sort of stand apart a little bit on the same level, but stand a little apart, a little on a diagonal here, and stop fighting each other directly. Find out something good about the situation that each can discuss and then go from there. Good luck.
We get along so well together when it comes to giving and doing things special for other people. But she wants to go about it in a different way.
Right. And just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. And Virgos like you to do something a certain way.
Right,
but they're capable, is that what you're finding?
Yes.
Yeah. And they're capable of being flexible. What the Virgo has to say is, Miss Taurus, to Miss Taurus, have you thought of doing it this way? Or, you know, if you do it this way, this is what might happen. What do you think? Because if a Taurus is backed up against the wall, they're going to say, I am doing it this way.
Oh, you're right.
So,
I find myself, I probably should have been a Taurus because I'm very strong-headed to it.
Well, you can be strong as a Gemini. I'm a Gemini, and I'm very strong.
I was as a lady before. I was on the cusp, the 22nd, and sometimes I have a little bit of Libra in me and a lot of Virgo.
As each situation presents itself, use the aspects that you have wisely.
Oh, very good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Caller, first name and comment or question. Caller.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Evelyn. My name is Evelyn.
Hello, Evelyn.
And my question is, how does Cancer rising and moon in Gemini affect the Virgo personality?
It makes it much easier to get along with.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
Because the Gemini is very flexible and filled with humor. It doesn't take itself too seriously like Virgo does. And Cancer is nurturing and loving and patient. And says, well, you know, it'll be okay. And that's the average person with these aspects. Again, every person is different, which is why sometimes I'm reluctant to discuss astrology, but it does have merit. So it can get along very well. It makes it a better aspect to deal with, much more flexible, much calmer than if it was, say, another one of the earth signs.
And would that make it easier to relate to another Cancerian?
Would that make it easier to what?
To relate to a Cancerian personality.
Yes, and a Gemini.
Okay.
And with Gemini, you can relate to all the aspects because it's the sign of communication, and in spiritual astrology, it's the third eye, it's universal thought.
Now, if the Cancer is, if the Cancer rising is right on the cusp, like it's 0 degrees and like say 10 or 12 minutes into what? Cancer from Leo, is that still?
No, Cancer, it's Gemini, Cancer, and then Leo. So where is it from?
It's from, let's see.
Is it 0 degrees?
Cancer, Leo. It's just finishing off Cancer at the end of
Okay,
Cancer.
so then it's got a lot of Leo influence, which really fires it up.
Right, that's what I wanted to know.
Listen, we're running out of time. I just want to say one more thing about Virgos. Come on into me for a consultation, and I'll help you with that.
Thank you.
Every sign has its assets and its liabilities. Therefore, within yourself, you must learn to use your energies wisely. Be very honest with yourself. Say, what are the good things about me? What are the bad things about me? And what do I need to change? And maybe a good friend will help you, and you can help each other. Every aspect is here to help every other aspect. Stay with us for Inner Journey. This is where we get a chance to relax and tune into God and the angels. And tonight we're going to work a little bit with the balance of yin-yang energy here with Virgo and Pisces. Okay, so what you're doing is sitting up nice and straight, and you're focusing right here above the nose, between the eyebrows and the third eye, breathing through the nose. So with your eyes closed, take a nice, deep, cleansing breath, filling your whole body, mind, and soul with God's brilliant white light of love, protection, peace, and harmony. And feel yourself inside a beautiful crystal pyramid cave, radiant, gleaming with God's light. See the pyramid in perfect form, very exact, formulated to a universal mathematical calculation. Everything is perfect inside your crystal pyramid cave. Feel the order and wisdom of universal formulas flowing into this crystal pyramid cave. Feel the balance and the structure that flows within. A foundation of stability is created within. And now see your guardian angel in front of you, holding a crystal ball of wisdom and insight. Your guardian angel is going to show you how to flow from structure and foundation into softness, flexibility, and flow. Brilliant colors swirling in front of you, magnificent vibrations, harmony in color and light, brilliance in front of you, around you, through you, colors of the universe radiating everywhere. Breathe in these colors. And now you are in the middle of a beautiful rose garden. The blossoms are fragrant, radiant color. Each rose is different in form and vibration. Each petal has a unique and brilliant pattern. Examine each petal carefully and see that within structure is flexibility, and within flexibility is structure, the yin-yang of universal creation. Learn the balance within. Learn the gentleness of all forms of life. The little fairies, the spirits of the angels flowing with you, the spirits of the garden, of the forest. See their gentleness. Feel them help you learn to flow with thought. Feel the energy rising through your body, through all layers of the soul, the mind, and the body. Breathe in the thoughts of the universe, the gentleness, the healing, the wisdom, the love, and the harmony. Every level of the soul, the mind, and the body vibrating in God's light, knowing that the Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, is within us and all forms of life, radiating through the galaxies. The universe is brilliant with God's love. Feel this love vibrating across the planet and within you. For we are one with God. We are one with the universe. I have to apologize. I was losing my throat again between the allergic reaction yesterday and whatever is in this building. We're going to have to air it out. My sinuses just slammed shut. So I tried to cover my microphone with my thumb, and I think I may have interrupted your inner journey. I'm sorry. So also want to tell you that Pets Unlimited has cat food, dog food, bird food, all kinds of stuff, and they're going to be working up a new commercial so they can show you all of that. And that's covered. And do call Marianne and Jerry. I've known Marianne, I'm trying to figure out, maybe 5 or 6 years now, and I highly recommend her as a real estate agent, and I want to welcome her to the family of advertisers here. Call her first name and comment or question. Caller. Where are you? This is where we do, we have 3 calls on the line, 546-8268. This is where we do any question that you want, personal or the issue that we're discussing. Caller, first name and comment or question.
My name is Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Yeah, and I got a question for you. My wife and me were married for 6 years. I'm a Virgo, and she was a Pisces.
Ah.
And we seemed to argue all the time, and about a month and a half ago, she took off on me with my kid. I was just wondering if I'm ever going to see her again or meet someone else, or...
Well, you're asking a whole bunch of questions. Yes, I do feel you will see her again, and I'm feeling one of the things that happened is what we were talking about tonight. Although she was a little too emotional and you were a little too picky, and you guys did not get along well together, and that was part of the lesson of you coming together because each of you is the opposite of the other.
Yeah.
I would get a good attorney. Why not use Harvey, who advertises on my show? He's excellent, and because you need legal advice on this.
Okay.
You need legal advice big time. Okay?
Okay.
449-9929, I believe Harvey's telephone number is. And you really need legal advice because you're legally responsible for this child and anything that occurs with your wife.
Yeah, it's like I haven't seen her a month and a half.
Okay.
She won't call me or nothing.
Okay. Get a hold of Harvey and let him help you and tell you what your legal position is.
Okay.
Okay, before it's too late. All right?
Okay.
Caller, first name and comment or question.
Hello,
Caller.
my name's John.
John? Okay, John, speak up a little bit, please.
Okay, I'm a Scorpio, and I want to know what's going to be going on in the year 97.
Well, it's not for all Scorpios or all Virgos or all, etc. Scorpio got a little release last year when Pluto left Scorpio because it was really crushing a lot of us who have Scorpio in our charts and keeping us from moving forward and getting things done that we wanted to do. But it was there to say, evaluate your life, make your decisions now because big things are happening. So as of last year, but I'm feeling one of your problems in life, which is not very Scorpio, so it might be something else that you're dealing with in your chart, and that is that you tend not to always pay attention. And when you don't pay attention, you miss the moment, you miss it intuitively, you miss it emotionally, you miss it logically, and your body does not even respond to what's going on. So one of the things that you need to do is learn how to pay attention to what's going on around you and to the people that you're dealing with. Okay, that'll completely change your perspective.
Okay, and I have one more question.
No, only one question to a person. We need to move on.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Caller, first name and comment or question. Caller?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Christy. I'm a Virgo, and my fiance is a Libra, and we seem to be on totally different wavelengths. We have so many problems right now.
Yeah, I would not get married, and I would come in for counseling, because problems only get worse as time goes on if they're not addressed. You are two totally, how is that? Did I emphasize that? Different people. And this is not making a happy energy around you. So please, I hope I see one of you at least for a counseling session. Then I send you home with an agreement that both of you must sign for joint counseling. If you don't get it, your lives are going to be miserable. Do not get married at this point.
Okay.
I don't care if the wedding is next week. Don't get married.
Yeah, see, it was set for November.
I hope you canceled.
Yeah, we have. We've definitely put it on hold.
Okay. Please come in to me. I'm feeling you're two nice people in totally different directions.
Yeah.
All right? So let me do some counseling with you, and at the very least, you can learn, each of you can learn how the other thinks. All right?
Okay.
At the worst, you'll be breaking up, but at the best, you will get what you need, both of you. Okay? We're out of time. If you'll just open up your hearts and minds to God's universal truth, you're going to know that God and the angels are always with you.